Your fasting number was fine for years. Then one morning it wasn't, and nothing about your breakfast changed. Here's what almost nobody tells you. A study tracking metabolic markers found a pattern most people walk right past every single day, sitting in their own kitchen in a bottle they already own. Olive oil, not as a garnish, as a tool that, used the right way, may blunt how hard your blood sugar spikes after a meal. Used the wrong way, it does almost nothing. I'm Dr. Rubio Santner of Metabolic Health Simplified, and today I'm breaking down the 5 specific ways to use it, and 3 mistakes, quietly canceling them out. Number 5 is the one almost everyone gets backwards. What's the first thing you eat in the morning? Tell me below. Then let's start with number 1. Here's the idea. When you eat bread, rice, potatoes, or pasta on their own, those carbohydrates break down into sugar quickly and rush into your bloodstream, almost like opening a floodgate. But when a quality fat like extra virgin olive oil is part of that same meal, something gentler tends to happen. The researchers behind the landmark Prediabetes study, one of the most respected nutrition trials of the last 2 decades, followed thousands of older adults and found that those who built their meals around extra virgin olive oil showed meaningfully steadier long-term blood sugar patterns. Follow-up work published in journals like Diabetes Care points to the same theme. Pairing healthy fat with carbohydrates can contribute to a slower, more even rise in glucose after eating. Think of it like a speed bump. Without it, sugar races into your system all at once, and your body scrambles to keep up. Add the olive oil, and you've placed a gentle speed bump on that road. The sugar still arrives, but calmly, in a manageable trickle instead of a sudden surge. Now pause right here for a second, because this is the part most people miss. The timing matters. Drizzling your olive oil over the meal, the salad, the vegetables, the whole grain, before or as you eat the starch, is what may help soften that spike. Eating the carbs first and adding the fat as an afterthought simply doesn't give your body the same head start. And in real life, this costs you nothing. The oil is already in your kitchen. You're only changing when and how it touches your plate, and that small shift may help your body meet every meal a little more gently. This one surprises people, because it feels like the opposite of a mistake. You buy a good bottle of extra virgin olive oil, pour it into a screaming hot pan, crank the burner for that deep sizzle, and without realizing it, you may be undoing part of what made that oil special in the first place. Here's why. The blood sugar and anti-inflammatory benefits of extra virgin olive oil come largely from its delicate polyphenols, natural protective compounds. Guidance from the Mayo Clinic on cooking fats points out that every oil has a heat threshold, and pushing an oil past it until it smokes can break down those fragile compounds and change the oil's character. Think of those polyphenols like the aroma of fresh coffee. Brew it gently, and the richness is all there. But blast it with too much heat for too long, and that delicate quality simply fades away. The oil still looks the same in the pan, but the protective part you wanted has quietly slipped out the back door. Now, and this matters, because the internet often gets this backwards, that does not mean you can never cook with olive oil. For everyday sautéing or roasting at moderate temperatures, it holds up just fine. The real trouble is deep frying, prolonged high-heat searing, and reusing the same oil again and again until it smokes. So in real life, the fix is simple. Keep the heat gentle to moderate when you cook with it. And save your best extra virgin oil for finishing, drizzled raw over the food after it's plated, where every one of those protective compounds can reach you fully intact. Olive oil is powerful on its own, but it has a quiet partner that makes it work even harder. And that partner is acid. We're talking about a splash of vinegar or a squeeze of fresh lemon. The American Diabetes Association has long encouraged building meals around healthy fats and balanced plates. And a growing body of research adds an interesting layer. A little acid, alongside your food, may help blunt the sharpness of the glucose rise after eating. Put the two together, oil and vinegar, and you've got a simple dressing that does double duty. Think of it like a tag team. The olive oil acts as the speed bump we talked about, slowing how fast sugar enters. The acid steps in as the second teammate, gently nudging your system to handle that meal more evenly. Neither one is doing anything dramatic, but together, they may give your body a smoother ride. And the beautiful part is how ordinary this is. You don't need a special product. A classic oil and vinegar dressing, the kind that's been on dinner tables for generations, is exactly the tool we're describing. A squeeze of lemon over roasted vegetables does the same job. So, in real life, here's the move. The next time you have a plate with bread, rice, or potatoes, add a small side salad dressed in olive oil and vinegar, or finish your vegetables with oil and a squeeze of lemon. It's a tiny, almost invisible habit, but it stacks one gentle effect on top of another. And over time, those small, steady choices are exactly what your metabolism notices most. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Not every bottle that says olive oil carries the protective compounds your body is after. Words like light, pure, and blend can sound healthy, even premium, but they often signal a heavily refined or diluted product that has lost most of its polyphenols along the way. This isn't a fringe concern. The FDA oversees how these products are labeled, and over the years, independent laboratory testing and peer-reviewed analyses have repeatedly found that a meaningful share of oils on store shelves don't fully match the quality their front label suggests. Some are quietly blended with cheaper oils. Think of it like coffee. Extra virgin is the rich, full-strength brew, packed with the good stuff. Light or pure olive oil is more like the decaf version. It may look identical in the cup, but the active ingredient you came for has largely been processed out. Now, pause here for a moment, because this single mix-up undoes so much effort. You can have perfect timing, gentle heat, and the right pairings, but if the oil itself is hollow, there's little protection left to deliver. So, in real life, become a label detective. Look for the words extra virgin. That's the tier that keeps the polyphenols intact. Check for a harvest or best by date, since fresher is better. Favor oils in dark glass bottles or tins, which shield the contents from light. And when you can, look for a recognized quality seal. A few extra seconds in the aisle may be the difference between a bottle that works and one that's just expensive flavor. Breakfast. For millions of older adults, the very first meal of the day is also the most blood sugar unfriendly. Toast with butter, a bagel, sugary cereal, a pat of margarine melting on top. It sets a spike in motion before the day has even started. Here's the shift. Researchers at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health have studied large populations over many years, and their work suggests that replacing butter and similar spreads with olive oil is associated with better long-term health markers. The simple act of swapping one fat for another, day after day, appears to add up. Think of it like the oil in a car engine. Butter is the thick, sludgy kind that makes the parts work harder. Good olive oil runs cleaner, helping everything move more smoothly. Same engine, same breakfast, just a fat that supports the machine instead of straining it. What surprises people is how easy this swap is. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil on whole grain toast with a pinch of salt is genuinely delicious. It works over eggs. Some people even stir a spoonful into oatmeal. You're not giving up your morning meal. You're simply upgrading the fat that anchors it. So, in real life, start tomorrow. Move the butter to the back of the fridge and put the olive oil within arm's reach of your toaster. It's the kind of change so small you'll barely notice doing it, yet it may quietly reshape how your body handles the first meal of your day every single morning. Once people learn olive oil may help, a very natural thing happens. They start pouring more of it. More on the salad, more in the pan, a generous glug over everything. The thinking feels logical. If a little is good, A lot must be better. But with olive oil, that instinct can backfire. Here's the reality. Olive oil is wonderfully healthy, but it's also very calorie dense. A single tablespoon carries around 120 calories. Johns Hopkins Medicine and other clinical voices consistently point to excess weight as one of the strongest drivers of insulin resistance. So, if heavy pouring quietly adds hundreds of extra calories a day, it can nudge your weight in the wrong direction and work against the very blood sugar goal you're chasing. Think of it like medicine. The right dose helps you. Double or triple that dose doesn't help twice as much. It just overwhelms the system. Olive oil follows the same logic. There's a sweet spot, and more is not automatically better. So in real life, measure instead of free pouring. 1 to 2 tablespoons across a meal is plenty to get the benefits we've been discussing. Use an actual spoon rather than tipping the bottle, at least until your eye learns the amount. Drizzle with intention, a light, even coating, not a puddle. It's a small discipline, but an important one. The goal was never to flood your plate with oil. It's to use just enough, in just the right way, so the benefits arrive without the hidden calorie cost riding along behind them. We've talked about olive oil, and we've touched on fiber, but when you bring them together over a bowl of vegetables, something especially valuable happens. A major analysis published in The Lancet examined decades of data on dietary fiber and found a consistent pattern. People who eat more fiber tend to have steadier blood sugar and lower long-term risk across several conditions. Now layer olive oil on top of that fiber-rich plate, and you combine two gentle forces at once. Think of it as a 3-part team working your meal. The fiber in the vegetables is the slow lane, easing how quickly everything digests. The olive oil is the speed bump, softening the sugar's arrival. And the polyphenols ride along as a kind of cleanup crew, supporting your body against everyday inflammation. No single piece is dramatic, but together, they're a quietly formidable combination. There's a bonus, too. Many of the protective nutrients in vegetables are fat-soluble, which means a little olive oil actually helps your body absorb more of them. The oil doesn't just sit there. It helps unlock what the vegetables already offer. So, in real life, make raw, uncooked olive oil the finishing touch on your vegetables. Steam or roast your broccoli, your greens, your peppers. Then, right at the end, drizzle good extra virgin oil over the top. You get the polyphenols fully intact, the fiber doing its slow lane work, and better nutrient absorption, all from one humble pour. It may be the single easiest, highest value habit on this entire list. You did everything right. You bought genuine extra virgin olive oil. And then, like most of us, you set it in the worst possible spot, right next to the stove, in a clear bottle under the kitchen lights. Without meaning to, you may be wearing down its protective compounds day by day. Peer-reviewed food science research has shown that olive oil's delicate polyphenols are sensitive to 3 things: light, heat, and air. Exposure to any of them speeds up oxidation, the same process that eventually turns oil stale and flat. The compounds that make extra virgin oil special are precisely the ones that fade first. Think of it like a fresh photograph left in a sunny window. At first it looks perfect, but week after week of light and warmth slowly drains the color until it's a faded version of what it was. Your oil goes through a similar quiet decline when it's stored badly. It still pours, but its best qualities have dimmed. So in real life, treat your good oil with a little care. Keep it in a dark glass bottle or tin, tightly closed. Store it in a cool, dark cupboard, away from the heat of the stove and out of direct light. And buy a size you'll actually finish within a few months of opening, rather than a giant jug that sits half-used for a year. These are small habits, but they protect everything else you've learned today. Because the freshest, best-stored oil is the one that still carries the full strength of what made you reach for it in the first place. So let's bring it all together. None of what we covered today is about a miracle or a quick fix. It's about a single familiar bottle in your kitchen and the small, intelligent ways you use it that may help your body meet each meal a little more gently. The timing, the gentle heat, the right pairings, the honest label, the careful storage. Each one is modest on its own, but stacked together day after day, they're exactly the kind of quiet habits your metabolism tends to reward. I'm Dr. Rubio Santner with Metabolic Health Simplified, and here's what I want you to hold on to. You are not powerless over your numbers. You make dozens of small choices every single day, and now you have a few more that may work in your favor. If steadier energy and calmer blood sugar are the direction you're heading, this channel was built for people exactly like you, folks who'd rather understand the science than chase the next fad. Subscribing just means the next practical breakdown finds you when you need it. And don't stop here. The very next thing to watch is the breakfast that may be spiking your sugar before you even leave the table. 3 common morning foods quietly working against you, and the simple swaps that help. It's on your screen right now. Let's keep going.